This is the SF Productions Podcast Network.
Is the clock running out for physical media?
From the Pop Culture Bunker, I'm Mindy.
And I'm Mark. You can check out our audio podcast, How I Got My Wife to Read Comics, on iTunes or on our website, sfpodcastnetwork.com. Well, there's so many options today to get your media.
Well, I always liked the VHS tape.
Very lovely. But today you have iTunes, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Instant, YouTube, Vudu, Xbox, PlayStation. You got the network and the studio sites. Now a new site called Target Ticket from the department store has joined the fight.
Right.
And not to mention cable and satellite and on demand. There's so many ways to get your media. In fact, something we just did, we just purchased this dongle called Chromecast from Google. We got 3 of them at $35 a piece.
Yes.
And it allows you to basically plug it into your back of TV, and then you can cast video from your computer in your Chrome browser or on your smartphone.
Right, and you can do it from almost any website with the Chrome browser.
And they have special setups for Netflix and YouTube and now Hulu. Mm-hmm. So there's just so many ways to do it today. Is there still a place for physical media?
Yeah.
The PC industry doesn't seem to think so. It's hard to find a PC or laptop today with a disk slot in it. Mm-hmm. Apple has aggressively moved away from them.
And you can see why Apple wants to do that, because they're selling all this stuff in their store.
Yeah.
And if there's no way for you to play your Supernatural DVDs on your piece on your laptop, you go to the iTunes store. I mean, a lot of people would, or you could go to Hulu or Netflix or whatever. But exactly.
And the video rental industry has mostly gone belly up. There's a lot of available storefronts that used to be Blockbusters.
Right.
Those Redbox kiosks seem to really be your only option today.
But they do seem to get pretty busy at times.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you're getting that DVD out. Where are you going to play it? You know?
Right. It's getting harder to find stores that actually sell DVDs. The shelf space is drying up. If you go to a Best Buy, it's a lot smaller than it used to be.
Right. I used to work at a media play store which sold, when I was there, VHS tapes, and they had a huge VHS section.
Right.
And that took up a lot of room.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started getting the DVDs in, and that took up less room. Everybody complained about switching from VHS to DVD, but then the DVDs were so popular.
Right.
Virtually no VHS by the time I left there. Now, the same thing's happening with DVDs. First it was moving to Blu-rays, and now we're moving away from Blu-rays even and getting into the online stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the stores, your brick and mortar stores, can't compete with Amazon on price. They just can't.
No way. No.
Now, I personally have a very large disc collection.
Yes.
I have full runs of many TV series. I have a stack of boxes from Christmases gone by.
He's never getting any more.
I just don't get to them. There's just too many other options.
But I have to say, the thing about your DVD set is you get the extras.
Yeah.
On Netflix, you don't get the extras.
Although they're now saying for their original series, they're going to start doing some sort of extras thing.
Yes, but you
for...
can't get the Supernatural extras.
Yet. In fact, at one point, I even invested in Laserdiscs. So,
yes.
and I have a load of VHS tapes to convert.
Well, but we're not really converting the copyrighted material.
No, exactly.
Because it's too easy to go out and just buy the DVD or get it on Netflix.
So does it make sense to buy something that you might only watch once, something physical? And it's making less and less sense. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned Blu-ray. And it was supposed to be the savior of the industry.
Because it's really such good...
high quality, high resolution.
Yes. And
the format was too massive in terms of size in order to download or stream, at least for now.
Yes.
as that will change over time.
That will change over time, and it also depends on if the providers, your internet providers, start charging you for your content, for your bits.
For your bandwidth, right. And I think really the long fight Blu-ray versus HD DVD killed a lot of the momentum. It took a lot longer to get to the market. I've bought several of them, but I haven't watched them all.
No.
And now they're pushing 3D Blu-ray, but who wants to sit at home wearing glasses? Wearing the big glasses. So I don't know. Now the studios are pushing streaming options themselves. One's called Ultraviolet, but it's kind of bulky and cumbersome because there's so much DRM on it that you've got to go to a site and you've got to type in some long code, and then it's available here but not over at this place, and that is one of the real problems with streaming, because they're still dealing with the old contracts.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, well, we have to have these multiple windows or schedules where it's like, goes to the theater, then you can see it on an airplane, then you can see it at a hotel, then you can see it on demand, then you can see it DVD, then you can see it on TV, then we'll make it international. Well, that era's come to a close because the internet's killing it.
You know, it's kind of sad when I think back to when I was a kid, and there were every year the Wizard of Oz was on one time.
That's it.
And you got to watch you just made your popcorn and you sat there with the whole family and you watched The Wizard of Oz because it was so cool. You got to see it once a year.
And you watched it live because there was no DVRs, there was no way to tape it.
And you knew that all your friends were watching it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
and that just doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, the shared experience. And it only happens now with things like the Super Bowl or major events on television like, say, the final episode of Breaking Bad that just came out.
Right.
That type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear that people will pay for streaming content when it's cheap and it's convenient.
Yes.
And if people can't get what they want when they want it legally, well, hello, BitTorrent.
Sad but true.
Right. I mean, that's just the reality. The young generation, they barely watch conventional TV, so they're certainly not interested in physical media because the iPod and iTunes has trained them to just download it, pay the $1.99 or whatever it is, and if it's not available.
Well, and I recently read an article about how on Netflix, or how kids today are saying, if it's not on Netflix, I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of shows that we all might have in common with our generation that they don't because they're not on Netflix. They're saying things like Game of Thrones, for example.
Yeah.
A lot of younger generation is not watching that. And I'm not talking kids, I'm talking college.
Right.
Because it's on HBO, they'd have to pay for it, and it doesn't come out on Netflix.
Yeah. Cable is looking at its last days because it's going to take about another 10 years, and then the majority of the market are going to be people that are like, what do you mean I need to put some sort of physical cable into an old-fashioned TV? And
what, I have to pay for another thing?
No, they're just not going to do it.
No.
They're all cord cutters. They never had a cord to cut in many cases. Now, having said all that, I want to note that we just recently bought Star Trek Into Darkness on Blu-ray.
Right.
But it was partly to get the digital copy.
Well, it was like a 3-in-1. It was a digital copy, a DVD, and a Blu-ray. So we split it with somebody else. We kept the Blu-ray and the digital copy, and we gave the other copy to somebody who has a DVD player.
Yeah.
So, that's not bad.
Right.
But I have to say, I still buy my Supernatural. I'm going to say, it's really nice to have the physical media when you want to share a show with someone and you want to get them hooked on it, and it's much easier to say, here, borrow my DVDs.
Yeah.
Just like borrow my book, borrow my whatever.
And of course, we're still buying the Mystery Science Theater episodes as they come out on DVD.
Oh my gosh. How many of those do you got? I don't even want to hazard a guess.
There's a set over there.
So you can keep watching TV or check out our audio podcast, How I Got My Wife to Read Comics, on iTunes or on our website, sfpodcastnetwork.com. From the Pop Culture Bunker, I'm Mindy.
And I'm Mark. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye-bye.